Hey friends, it is Saturday, August 9th. I am popping on here today to talk about the knitting class that I did this morning. If you are new here, hi, my name is Beth. I am one of the artists behind crochetrx. I run this business with my daughters. They also crochet with me and we document our journey. We typically do in-person vendor events, and then it's currently a slow season now with the summer. It's just too hot in North Carolina to be doing outdoor events. And I recently was passed down my grandmother's knitting needles. And then with participating in the NC yarn tour last month, I saw all these yarn shops and these pretty yarns. I really was motivated to learn to knit. So I had started earlier in the month, and then with the yarn tour, I had won a set of interchangeable needles that I had been using, and actually who I won these needles from, the Yarn Tales store in New Bern, is who I went to today to take this class. It ended up being a last minute thing. Family is gone, and I meant to register yesterday, but my work day got away from me and ended up being first thing this morning. It was kind of one of those things that I woke up, it's like, can I get all my stuff done and get on the road? It's an hour and 15 minutes to get there. Can I get there in time? And I ended up being the only one for the class. So got a lot of personalized attention. And so I can show you some of the goodies that I got. So with my registration, I got a pair of Susan Bates needles. She picked out 4.5 millimeter US 7 for me. These are straight needles. And then I was given a cotton skein of yarn here she said it would make a great washcloth. A couple of curved needles. A really cute little pair of scissors. They got little polka dots. Aren't they cute? And then a coupon for 10% off. So, off of another purchase. So we went through, because I had already been working on knitting, I had been doing the continental stitch because holding the yarn was similar to the crochet way we hold. Then we did some stitches we worked on. So this was just kind of what we started here. It's quite, so this is, I think this is our end. This was our start. So we did just some simple knits, and then we did some purls. Then we did yarn over, which is an increase, and then gives us little holes in there. And then we did stitch two together, decrease, and bound off. So all I had done was cast on to get started, and I had done it a different way. So I learned a different technique for this, and then the knitting. So the purl, the increases, the stitch two together were all new skills for me today. And so then I started trying to do kind of a simple washcloth pattern where you left a hole in the corner, and it would make a border around this. but the basic pattern was all knits, and I really need the practice on purls. So the goal was to alternate a knit row and a purl row. However, trying to get the purl rows to work with holding the yarn in my left hand for a continental was challenging. Even for her, because that's not how she typically knits. So we kind of learned together, and towards the end, we were getting it. So we will see if I can do it, replicate it here at home on my own. I can do the purl holding the yarn in my other hand, which would be fine if I have a whole row of purls. But if like a sweater that's ribbed, if I were to do 2 knits and 2 purls to make that ribbing pattern, that in and out, I can't switch my yarn hands every 2 stitches. It would take me a decade to finish a project. So that's the kind of thing that I need to figure out and work on. So if I can I am much faster if I can hold the yarn like I do crochet. I am twice as fast. If I have to switch and think about how to hold it in the opposite hand, it just drags me down. So that is what I accomplished in my knitting class today. 2 hours. 2 hours of knitting right here. It's exciting stuff, isn't it? So I have my little instructions. I've got the pattern for the dishcloth, and then I've got a couple other sampler patterns. It makes me think back to the cross stitch samplers that young girls used to do to show off their skills. So this is a number of little things. This is a whole bunch of different stitch patterns that go into like a cowl neck cowl. So yes, we will see. But it was great. It was good. I'm glad I did it. It's hard to learn from YouTube. And I've been asked so many times about teaching crochet classes, and I just don't know where to do it. I live in a remote area, and there's not even like a room at the library that I could use. It's just kind of big open library. So I don't know where to have something like that. And I certainly don't have the community connections to know businesses that would have a kind of room or something to where we could do something like that at. So something to think about, and maybe as I do fall shows and whatever else, you can talk to different people about opportunities. Fall and Christmas would be a wonderful time to market as I'm out in these areas. So something to consider with that. And then as I got home from my knitting class today, well, actually I stopped then at the Panera in town because big towns have Panera. I worked for an hour and then I drove home for a little change of scenery. And I came home to Happy Meal, and it was addressed to me. I don't know who it's from. I don't know what it is. The packaging doesn't say like what is in the kit. It doesn't say what it makes. It doesn't, sorry, it's all crinkly. It doesn't say what it makes. It doesn't say like what. It's very similar to a Woobles kit. It even talks about the wee woobly things like the Woobles kit does. So it's very giving me Woobles knockoff vibes for that, which is fine. But it doesn't say it's a chick. It doesn't say it's a duck. It doesn't say that it's a cactus, given the middle flipping the bird. It doesn't say any of that. So I have no idea what this is. I wish I knew. I wish it would tell me. So I know what was in it. I don't want to open it. I don't want to tear it open. I guess it's not a, I thought I would have to tear it open. All right, let's look. See what this is. DIY conversions. What are we making? I thought it was sealed at the top. It is not. Holding the yarn. I want to know what we're making. Stitch two together. All right, so that's the stuff. Oh. It's like a hip hop artist. I don't, like, is he dancing? Is he holding a sign? Like, I don't know. The skill level for this kit is 3 out of 5. 5 is the most challenging. Snoop Dogg? Terminology, Part 4, how to read the pattern, Part 5, Snoop Dogg. What? Was that Snoop? Maybe? I can kind of see it in the face. Live, grateful, love, friend, oh my gosh, this is hilarious. Okay, well, this is a teeny tiny hook, a 2.5 millimeter. Holy smoke. It even has a chain. There is a gold chain in here, y'all. Oh my gosh. This is crazy. And then vacuum sealed stuffing. Oh my gosh, this is hilarious. Oh my gosh. All right. I have no idea who sent me this. I have posted on my business page and I have posted on my personal Facebook and Instagram. Nobody has come forward yet. This is hilarious. I don't typically do the worsted weight amigurumi. Oh my gosh, so funny. All right. That is it for tonight, y'all. We will see what transpires these next few days and catch up with you next time. All right, it's like 5 minutes later. Mystery solved. So I sent my bestie then going, that crochet kit is Snoop. And she's like, oh, that's from me. She had said that she was going to send something. But when I sent her the package, picture, she's like, that's not from me. But it was from her. She just thought it was going to be in a much snazzier package. So Snoop has his own little, it's an emotional support Snoop for Shizzle. You got this. Keep it cool, keep it real. So Snoop holds his little emotional support sign. So mystery solved. My bestie saw it. She thought of me. And so she sent me my own emotional support Snoop. So, too funny. And she had commented on our little keychain chickens. So I'm gonna have to send her some keychain chickens. All right, so now I'm really signing off for the night because it is getting to be my bedtime. All right, later. Hey friends, it is now Tuesday. What month are we in? August 12th. And so not much has happened the last few days. It has been raining and storming 4 days. And something I did not mention Saturday when I had filmed in the evening was that I had scheduled a live Palmstreet, just kind of a hangout, keep me company while the house is empty sort of thing for Saturday evening, and nobody showed up. So Palmstreet has really just not been successful for me. Whether it's because I just don't have enough of a social media following to direct over there or whatever, Palmstreet just has not been consistent for me. And I saw recently that they now have the option to do auctions outside of a live. So I may put an auction up and see how that goes. I have not done auctions during my lives because I don't have anybody to show up. And if there's nobody to show up, there's nobody to bid. So maybe I could get a little bit more traction by posting an auction and having that up for like 48 hours. I'm not sure how they get marketed, so that could be something to try. And then on Sunday, because I did the crochet, this is knitting, I have to think here. I did the knitting class on Saturday morning. I did not then knit Saturday night because I did the Palmstreet. I sat down, and because I have been getting better at the knit stitch, I then started doing the dishcloth pattern in pearls. So I feel like I am getting more consistent. It's still not perfect by any means, but I'm getting the every other opening there for the border, and I am getting consistent stitches for the pearls, and I'm doing it keeping the yarn in my left hand. So the continental stitch, I am starting to get more consistent with it. I will take a picture and send it to the Yarn Tales where I took the class and see what she has to say, critiques that she has to give. But I feel like I'm making progress because it is definitely a different look than where we've been. So we will see what she has to say there. And then the other thing that I was brainstorming about today, and I posted on my personal pages, was with the kids' dance studio. They always do fundraisers. You do fundraisers for all your sports. However, the fundraisers that they've selected this year really market to, your community and local individuals. And unfortunately, we don't have a community outside of dance where we live. We moved here for my husband's job 5 years ago. My husband actually works with the individual that coordinates the fundraisers. So she sells to the same office, same people, all that stuff. And I work from home. I don't have any physical coworkers here. I don't have anybody to sell to. So to sell tickets for a raffle to win a gift card to the Chinese restaurant down the street from the studio is not going to do my family members in Iowa or Illinois any good. So, excuse me, trying to brainstorm ways to do fundraisers a little differently outside of our studio, because we've done other fundraisers in the past where, you know, we've assisted at a pizza restaurant and funds go towards the kids that work, help bus tables, that kind of stuff. And right now we're not doing any of those. So we don't have the individuals to market to. So I was brainstorming ways to like put together little raffle baskets and then sell raffle tickets. So I had just kind of brainstormed a couple of things and posted on my personal page. It's like if I put together little themed baskets that were worth $40 to $50, say with like the Highland cow and a pen, some other Highland cow themed stationery or something. You know, our chickens, a couple mini chickens with chicken pen stationery set. And would that be something that people were interested in? So I seem to have gotten some good feedback on that, and asked about some weird sounds in the room. Asked about a Halloween basket. So maybe I'll crochet some hats, some witches hats for the cats, and then throw a ghost in with some of the cats. And so I may put up 2 different raffle opportunities, and then the winner of each raffle would have 2 packages to pick from. So if you wanted the Highland cow or the chickens, you would participate in this raffle. And if you won that raffle, you could choose from the Highland cow or the chickens. And if you wanted the Halloween or the beach theme, you could then participate in this raffle, and you could pick from the Halloween or the beach sort of thing. If you wanted to participate in both raffles, you're welcome to purchase tickets to both raffles, that sort of thing. And we will see what kind of participation I have with between all the choreography fees and I just had a package delivered at my front door. That would be new tap shoes for the daughter. How timely. So between all the choreography fees and the convention of classes that we have to register, the big one for in September, choreography August, convention September, got about $1,000 in things before we even start tuition, costumes, or anything else. So definitely want to participate in the fundraising opportunities I have. Everybody else right now is selling mums. I don't have anybody to sell mums to. There's another child in the neighborhood that sells mums for his school. And so like even the neighbors buy from this little kid. I don't have anybody else to sell mums to. I'm certainly not bringing mums to Illinois or Iowa. So it is what it is, and I'm just trying to figure out ways to make the most of that. So if you've done kind of raffles like this, I would love to hear how you've gotten participation on this. I know that there's some raffle gambling things that come into play with that. And so working around some of those not sponsored sort of things. And then if you have done any of the auctions on Palmstreet outside of a live show, I would love to hear if you've gotten a lot of engagement on that. I should put this pen down before I continue to smack it against my hand. And what sort of reception you have had to that. Because I've gotten close to 100 followers on Palmstreet, but my live shows still are not getting any participation, any consistent participation or engagement. So that's that. My family is still in the Midwest. Nobody has talked to me since I dropped them off at the airport on Thursday. I've gotten a text message here or there of the food that they're eating, but nobody has called me. I have not heard their voice. They've forgotten about me. So when they get home, I suppose I can move out because they no longer need me. So that is it. I'm going to wrap this up and post this up so I can get some feedback on those issues. And I will catch you guys on the next one. Take care.